Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. First carry now for Alex Collins. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now Jackson on second down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how he wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
After the interception, here's Taylor. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Yardage here, knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Patrick Murray now on for the field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Murray's kick is up and good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And after the made field goal, Murray back out there to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big run there by Collins. 53 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Well, as this game continues to evolve in the NFL, you know how much coaches love run after catch, but you know what they love even more? Completion.
Yeah, just holding on to the ball.
Catch it, cover it, tuck it away. Whatever you get after that is almost gravy. That's how a lot of these receivers are being taught now.
Forced out to us, and he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson drops it underneath for Collins. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's 1st and goal. 3rd and 4, he did just enough. I mean, just enough to move the chains.
And that's all you're looking for, right? Just want to keep the drive moving. You don't need the big play there. Just get to that marker that you described, and he was able to do just that.
Leopard! Leopard!
On 1st and goal, Collins. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after him. Put the pressure on him.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
On 3rd and goal, Collins. A gain of 7 might change the thought process here as they have some options on 4th and goal. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
And that one carries out of the side of the end zone here, so it's a touchback and bring it out to the 25. The Bengals getting set to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive down with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's Taylor escaping the pressure right. Taylor hit. He lost the football. And the Ravens have got it. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble, in this case, as you said, to the right, you're cutting the field in half. So good defenses kind of converge in that spot, and they don't give you much territory to throw the ball. He had nowhere to go with it. Ends up getting the ball stripped.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, Jackson. A dump off now to Hill. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And it'll be third down.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Jackson. They set up the screen to Hill. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. The wind is at his back here in the second quarter. And this is no good. Close but no cigar, just wide right. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll begin here with Bernard. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. To throw is Taylor. Flush to his right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 10 more there and another 1st down.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football. But how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, it's Taylor. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 16 yards there, 2 straight plays of 16 yards and another 1st down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, But you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Taylor. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Marquise Goodwin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are in for 6. Murray to add the extra point. Murray will tack on the extra point, and the lead is now 10-3. Now it's Murray to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now here come the Ravens. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
On 2nd down, here's Jackson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Ross on the return. Brief break in the action here. We're back to Baltimore after this.
Under. Ready. Flag for 2. Flag for 2.
Here's Bernard. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
After the interception, here's Jackson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Hill shedding the tackle. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be a second down. From the gun, Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. The Ravens on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time it's 3rd and 3.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
Jackson will throw again. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Detroit! Detroit! Gun!
Now it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He'll find Goodwin here on the right side. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. They go play action here on first down. Eluding the pressure right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll make it a second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Now a toss play to Bernard. Space to maneuver at the 40. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Throwing now, Taylor on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 3rd down, Taylor looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Boyd. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one goes for 24 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Taylor. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
To throw on second down, Jackson. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Gun!
On 3rd down, Jackson. He'll buy some time right. It's caught on the right side. Williams. The ball comes out, and the Bengals have recovered it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Taylor, escaping the pressure right. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
On second down, Taylor. On the screen, Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try to pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a fourth down now. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
And Murray's kick is up and good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And the Ravens taking the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
That, quite simply, is Jeremy Hill. A very powerful, compact back.
He's always been that. Even back at LSU, that's where he honed that skill, right?
Love to run between the tackles and take the contact as well as dish it out.
They stick on the ground on first down with Hill. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th.
Detroit!
And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
After the interception, here's Taylor. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. On the toss, Bernard. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11, and it'll be 3rd and 10.
But it looks like they caught him off guard on second and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that works very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on third down.
Taylor now to throw on third down. And it's caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
They give it to him running left. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
2nd and goal from the 1. They send Green to the left on his own. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Taylor. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. This quarterback now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. To throw is Jackson. Hey, right on cue, they set up the screen and complete it. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down. They took your advice from a bit earlier, tried the screen, but that one, it was covered up pretty well.
They did a nice job on it, but I still think it was the right idea. Probably just a block or 2 away from making it work.
And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that's caught inside the 35. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Out to his left. That is caught at the 7. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. They come out here in the I. Trying to punch it in with Collins. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal.
Brandon, it's easy to make decisions from right up here where we are, right in the cheap seats, but let's be frank about this one. This isn't even a decision as far as I'm concerned. They have to go for it here. Field goal does you almost no good as time's running out in the game. If you want to win, you have to be aggressive here.
The run is turned away on 4th and goal from the 2. And the Bengals are going to win this football game. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Again, here's Bernard. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. It's a gain of 6, and that ought to just about do it.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Takes us across the 15 to the 17. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Cincinnati, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.